Hey guys, I'm back. We're going to continue with Where is Walt Disney? We left off on Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Magic Kingdom. Of all the Disney World parks, Magic Kingdom gets the most visitors. In fact, it gets more visitors annually than any other theme park in the world. You enter it on Main Street, USA, which looks like a street in a small town America from early 1900. Some of the buildings were modeled after the Missouri town where Walt and Roy grew up. Windows in the stores along the street were built low so children can look inside. Here you can board railroad trains for a ride around the Magic Kingdom. The red train is named for Walt. The green one is Lilybell, named for his wife. At the far end of Main Street stands Cinderella's castle, soaring high with 27 royal blue and gold towers and 4 turrets. That's the tops. It was inspired by European castles and has a drawbridge and a water-filled moat. Though they look like stone, the marble bricks are actually fiberglass panels attached to a steel frame and then coated with plaster and concrete. The towers were built on the ground and then lifted by cranes into place. For flight safety, federal law says that any building more than 200 feet tall must display a flashing red light on top. Since that would have spoiled the fairy tale effect, Cinderella's castle is only 189 feet tall. It looks much taller, though, due to the use of forced perspective. The bricks and windows higher up are smaller than those at the bottom. This fools your eye into seeing the castle as much taller than it really is. From the Cinderella Castle area, paths branch out to Magic Kingdom's 6 lands. Clockwise, they are Fantasyland, Tomorrowland, Main Street, Adventureland, Frontierland, and Liberty Square. Fantasyland is all about magic and fairy tales, just like many of Walt's films. It has 4 castles: Cinderella Castle, Prince Eric's Castle, Beast Castle, and Rapunzel's Tower. Here's a little bit about Mickey Mouse. Of all Walt Disney's characters, Mickey Mouse is the best loved and most well-known. Walt said that Mickey Mouse popped up in his head during a train ride in 1928. He was going to name him Mortimer until his wife Lillian suggested he named him Mickey. That same year, Mickey debuted in a short cartoon called Plain Crazy. It was black and white without sound. In those days, theater owners showed short cartoons before a full-length movie. However, no one was interested in Mickey. Walt didn't give up. Soon he featured Mickey in another short called Steamboat Willie. It was a hit. Mickey whistled merrily and his friend Minnie went Yahoo! It was the first cartoon with sound matched to the characters, making them almost appear to be talking. Walt himself would perform the high-pitched voice of Mickey in more than 100 cartoon shorts. Over time, Mickey's appearance changed a little. His tail disappeared and he got white gloves. Today, Mickey Mouse is one of the most recognizable characters in the world. In China, he's Milau Shu. In Italy, he's Topinlo. In Mexico, he's Raton Mickey. Walt Disney once said this about his huge success. It all started by a mouse. The Prince Charming Regal Carousel in this land is really antique from 1917. At 60 feet across, it's one of the best of its kind in the world. Its 90 wooden horses on golden poles are decorated with colorful bridles, flowers, and shields. When the Disney Company bought the carousel in 1967, its horses were covered in many old layers of paint. After sanding that off, they were painted white because most heroes rode white horses in movies and fairy tales. Many of the cars in Disney World rides are clearly and cleverly designed. In Magic Kingdom, you ride a clamshell at Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. Dumbo, the flying elephant, has cute elephant-shaped cars that fly. The Seven Dwarf Mine Train roller coaster cars sway side to side like a real mine shaft. Tomorrowland's theme is outer space and aliens. It has the first computer-controlled thrill ride, Space Mountain. This roller coaster is popular and super fast. In the 1960s, there was a space race to see which country, the United States or the USSR, would land on the moon first. On July 20th of 1969, about 2 years before Disney World opened, American astronaut became the first to walk on the moon. People remained fascinated by the idea of outer space and what might be discovered there. So that is what inspired Tomorrowland. Walt was optimistic and excited about new technology and thought it would help the world in the future. At the Carousel of Progress, the audience sits in seats that automatically rotate around a stage to discover how technology has progressed through time. On stage, an audio animatronic American family discusses 4 eras, including 1900, gas lamps, hand-cranked washing machines, 1920s, electricity for lamps and radios, 1940s, TVs, dishwashers. At first, the present-day part of the show presented trends of the 1960s and 70s, such as caring for the environment and moms working outside the home. Today, it highlights high-tech things like virtual reality games and HD TVs. Adventureland has a tropical jungle theme inspired by Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, and the South Seas. Jungle Cruise is a lazy, outboard boat ride through this land. Walt had hoped to have real jungle animals here, but decided they might not behave or might hide when they heard people coming. Frontierland is set in the Wild West days of the United States. In the 1950s and 60s, there was a craze of cowboy and Western-themed TV shows. Walt Disney tapped into it by creating a TV show based on a real frontierman named Davy Crockett. Many kids wanted coonskin caps like the one Davy wore. The different lands show that Walt wasn't just interested in fairy tales and fantasy. He also wanted to present moments in history, important present-day ideas, and an introduction to other parts of the world. Chapter 4, Behind the Scenes. It takes over 70,000 cast members to make the magic happen at Disney World. Before beginning their job, most take classes at Disney University, located behind the Magic Kingdom. They learn about Walt Disney, Disney World Resort, Disney characters, and how to behave with guests. After that, there's more training about how to do a particular job and how to look and act like the part of the character they'll portray. Often, one cast member switches roles on different days. Unofficial and official Disney lingo. An adventure is a ride. Attraction is a show or a ride. Backstage, any part of Disney World that guests can't see. A cast member is a Disney World employee, CM for short. A character is a costume employee acting as a Disney character. Face character are characters like Cinderella and Snow White whose costumes don't cover their heads. Fast Pass is a timed reservation system that can shorten wait times at attractions. The Flume is a water chute ride. Good show is when a cast member behaves in a friendly, kind manner towards guests or performs a job or character well when in view of guests. A guest is a visitor. Imagineers are Disney employees who come up with the creative and technical ideas. Lost parent, since kids might get scared if referred to as lost, the parents are referred to as lost instead. Magic Band is a colorful wristband used as an admission ticket and more. On stage is any part of Disney World that guests can see. The queue is a line of people waiting to enter an attraction. The rope drop is the nickname for the time Disney World officially opens each morning because guests sometimes stand behind an actual rope until Disney employees move it aside for them to pass. Utilidors is a nickname for the Disney employees' underground tunnels, also called utility corridors. Disney employees are called cast members for a reason. Walt wanted them to think of themselves as actors in a big show called Disney World. Anytime they are among park guests, even if they are not on a real stage, they are considered to be acting out a role. Even small things are important. Giving directions to a guest by pointing the way with a finger might be considered a bad show. Gesturing the way with a friendly open hand is called a good show. Cast members are expected to be cheerful and polite, which is, of course, good show. Have you ever wondered how Disney characters seem to magically appear in their correct lands? Or why you don't see them where they don't belong? Well, one time at Disneyland, Walt caught sight of a cowboy cast member walking through Tomorrowland on the way around to Frontierland. It felt so out of place to Walt, and it spoiled the magical feeling he wanted for guests. So at Disney World, there are underground tunnels for cast members. They walk through them to get to their lands without guests seeing them. The tunnels, called utilidors, form one big circle under the Magic Kingdom with a connecting tunnel going under Main Street through the middle. I'm going to turn it around so you can see it. Those are the underground tunnels. If you were a cast member, you'd likely park in a lot about a mile away and take a bus to the tunnel entrance. Your first stop inside the tunnel might be the Mouseketeria for a snack. Across the hall is the wardrobe department. You tell them your size and where you're working that day. After you're given a costume, you change and store your belongings in the locker room. Mickey Mouse has about 136 outfits, including a tuxedo and a scuba suit. Minnie Mouse has more than 100, including a safari suit. All the characters' costumes amount to a lot of clothes that need to be washed. Luckily, Disney World has its own laundries on site. It is a 10-minute walk from one end of the park to the other going through the tunnels. The tunnels are color-coded and have signs saying which section of the park is directly above. To get into the land you want, you take an elevator or stairs up one floor. You exit into the Magic Kingdom through one of 29 unmarked doors. Imagine how hard it might be to remain cheerful on a hot summer day if you're wearing a costume that covers you head to toe. There are rules to make sure cast members get enough breaks. To relax, they might come downstairs to one of the break areas. Because of the tunnels, you wouldn't see garbage trucks in the park emptying trash bins. Instead, trash gets sucked from the park down through 20-inch pipes at speeds of up to 60 miles an hour. In the tunnel, you can sometimes hear trash flying by on its way to the central collection area. There are also offices, storage areas, kitchens, a hair salon, makeup rooms, plus design and rehearsal spaces. The park's computer system, Digital Animation Control Systems, DACS, is here too. It operates and monitors sound systems, audio, animatronic characters, and attractions. It helps make sure stage curtains open on time and parades are on schedule. Delivery trucks arrive at the tunnels bringing both merchandise and food that eventually get distributed to the parks. Utility workers drive around on golf carts. The tunnels are a busy place. Here's a little bit about audio animatronics. Walt was always asking his team of Imagineers to accomplish tasks that seemed impossible. When he found a mechanical singing bird in a store, he showed it to them. They took it apart to see how it worked. Before you knew it, he had them busy building a 9-inch tall dancing man. It was an early prototype of auto animatronics, which was basically robots. Enchanted Tiki Room opened at Disneyland in 1963 and was the first attraction with audio animatronics. This tropical bird could do simple actions like open and close their beaks. For the 1964 World's Fair in New York City, Walt created a full-size audio animatronic human figure, Abraham Lincoln. Abe could talk and do 57 movements. In the 1960s, this was way new and amazing stuff. We're going to stop there for today, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great day.